Hi, everybody, and welcome to the big idea of the week. As we told you last week, this month we're dedicating it to Infusionsoft certified consultants who are going to talk about solutions and easy implementation of things that you can do to grow your business and succeed. And this week we have the pleasure of talking with Adrian Savage, all the way from the UK. Here he is with us now. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Hey there, June. I'm doing great, thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's amazing. We love having you. First off, Adrian, we want to ask you, how are you in the UK with your business? How do you help people succeed? What is it that you do?
Well, as I said, my name's Adrian Savage, and I'm an Infusionsoft certified consultant based just outside Reading in the UK, just to the west of London. And I make small businesses rich by revolutionising their sales and marketing. I help them to get more leads, more customers, and ultimately more money.
That's great. And so these small businesses and entrepreneurs are all facing challenges as days go by. They're starting off, they don't know exactly what they're not doing because they're not doing it. Could you
Sure.
tell us a little bit about maybe one trouble or a few things that a lot of your customers or people that you meet go through on a regular basis?
I think one of the biggest challenges that I see time and time again with so many, mainly new customers, but sometimes some existing ones as well, is really around engagement. The question I get asked is, how can I keep engaged with my audience? Because sometimes I think they get very overwhelmed knowing that they've got, sometimes hundreds, thousands, even tens of thousands of people out there listening to their messages. And they find it difficult knowing how to actually get the message out there and make sure that they're being heard. And I think that's probably the most difficult thing. It is all about engagement. And the biggest question that I ask my clients to ask themselves is, okay, what if they don't? And what I mean by that is, supposing you're going to send an email out, and the idea is you want the people reading your email to go to your website, read your blog, watch this video, whatever it may be. But the difficulty is, you know that you're going to send that mail out to thousands of people, and not everyone is going to do what you want them to do. So the big challenge is to actually find ways of measuring whether the call to action that you've put in your email or the request or whatever it is, make sure that people are doing that. And if they do, if they click on your link, watch your video, download your stuff, whatever that may be, then that's brilliant. But what if they don't do that? So the challenge then is, and this is where the power of systems like Infusionsoft are so amazing, because you know whether they've done what you want them to or not. And the people that haven't done what you want, you can send them additional material. You can put them into different campaigns, different sequences based on what they're doing and what they're not doing. So a good example is, I've got a very well-known public speaking client in the UK, a guy called Andy Harrington, and he's got an absolutely awesome campaign set up. And what it does is people can ask him to send them some amazing public speaking videos on how to become a better public speaker. And it's quite important that they watch the first video, then the second video, third video, and so on, because each one has got tips that if you miss one of the videos in the sequence, you're not getting all of the content. So as a result of that, if people get the email saying, here's your first video, click here, you can watch the video, that's great. But for the people that don't actually watch that, and sometimes that's anything between, it might be a third of the people, half the people, maybe they don't actually click on that link in the first video. So at that point, maybe give them a day or so just to give them the chance to click it. But if they haven't, then they might need a reminder. They might have been away, they might have skipped over that email, something like that. So then there's another email that can go out saying, just to let you know, this video is still waiting for you. You should really watch it because it's got some great content in there. And then you can repeat that as many times as you want. I've got some people who actually send out maybe half a dozen reminders before they effectively give up. Because obviously, you're never going to catch everyone. But it's all about making sure that people are still engaged and you're giving them what they want. And it may be that some people don't want it as a video. They might want to read a document or have an audio file or something like that. So another solution often is to actually provide the same material in different formats. So if they don't consume it the first way you give it to them, then find another way of getting the same message across. And it works really well.
So, Adrian, if, for example, they are already doing this where they have, their blog posts and they have a video with the same content, and maybe they do the follow-up, if they don't have a software like Infusionsoft, is there an easier way or is there an alternative to kind of get on that boat and start sending that engaging message out?
I think what I've found is that Infusionsoft kind of differentiates itself from the majority of other email systems out there because it gives you this ability. There's a couple of others that I haven't used myself that can do the same thing, but I think it's almost a question of cost. Then people go for the kind of real low end, I guess effectively they're autoresponder systems, and the word auto there kind of makes it fairly clear what they do. They're going to respond automatically, sending one thing after another without much chance of customization. I think you've got to step up and raise your game to the next level by going for software such as Infusionsoft to give you that opportunity to have this kind of the more dynamic engagement that you can have. Because you've got to take advantage not just of the what if they do, what if they don't scenarios, but also just the ability to actually measure what people are doing. You can see how many people are actually opening your mails, how many people are reading them, which again most platforms will do that, but it's taking it to the next level where you're starting to do it based on people's behaviour. And even not just giving them what they want, but also recording what they want. A great phrase that I stole from Jeff Mask at Infusionsoft more than a year ago, the first time I saw him speak, and I've taken this to heart and I quote it like a mantra to all of my clients, and that is customers buy when they're ready to buy and not when you're ready to sell. So that means you've got to make sure you do everything possible to give them what they need for as long as they need.
Lastly, if you would, what would be some advice that you would give entrepreneurs or small business owners out there referring to this problem? So again, we don't necessarily know if they already have Infusionsoft. We hope that they do. But if they don't, is there a piece of advice that you think could get them on the right path?
I think regardless of what software you're using, then start to think outside of the box. I think that's the most important thing. Because I think with any system, you can take steps to start to personalize it. Sometimes it might mean a bit more tougher work, or it might mean you're sending manual emails or something like that. But it's the more personalized you can make your contact, then the more people are going to love you at the end of the day. Jermaine Griggs has got an amazing saying. Jermaine was Ultimate Marketer for Infusionsoft back in, I think, 2011, and he's someone who I've just learnt so much from. And he's created this phrase he calls scaling personal attention, and that is make everything appear as personal as possible, but just do it on a grand scale. And I think that's really important to do that.
We really appreciate you being here for the big idea of the week. And I want to tell everybody out there, if they do want to reach out to you, if they want to make contact, if they have any questions, how can they do this?
Well, there's two ways of doing it. First way is to find me and add me as a friend on Facebook. And if people either search for Adrian Savage or go to facebook.com/Adrian Savage with no spaces, then find me there, hit me up as a friend. That would be awesome. And then the second way is to go to my website, which is adriansavage.co.uk, and fill in the form there, and I'll get in touch that way as well. Either way, it'd be brilliant to hear from as many people as possible.
That's wonderful, and we look forward to seeing you here in the Valley of the Sun in Arizona. And again, if you guys have any questions, you can also tweet at Big Ideas Blog.